Hey yogis, thanks for watching my video. I woke up this morning and I had a little bit of stiffness or just not rightness in my neck. So I wanted to make a video with some neck stretches and just ways to open and strengthen the neck. So we'll get started like this here in Sukhasana. You can have yourself cross-legged, and if this isn't comfortable for you, always feel free to prop yourself up on a pillow or a blanket. And then just come somewhere where you're sitting nicely grounded into your sitting bones. They'll be pressing down either into your mat or into your pillow. And let yourself sit up tall, and then just let your eyes close. Lengthen the spine. Feel your sits bones rooting down as you lift up through the crown of your head. And then lengthen through all four sides of your torso. And just start to drop into your breath here. I'm thinking about lengthening through the sides of my neck. Just adding to the general elongation of my spine. And let's just draw the shoulder blades gently together behind the back, nothing exaggerated. Just roll them back slightly since we spend so much of our time hunched over our desks and our cars and our phones and computers. And come into that deep inhale and exhale breath. And let your hands rest gently down on your thighs. A nice easy pose. Take one more inhale and exhale. And then let your eyes come open. We're going to start to come into a twist. So we'll just bring the right fingertips back behind you and take your left hand over to your right knee. And let it come gently from your spine and from your belly at first, so don't even add the neck in yet. And take a couple of breaths here. And then if your neck is feeling okay, you can start to bring your gaze out over your back shoulder, even just over to the side. Not wrenching the neck around, just letting it join your spine in a twist. And then we're going to start to let the left ear drop over to the left shoulder. So you're stretching now the right side of your neck. You can see what it feels like to look down towards your shoulder. And I like the way that feels in my neck, but you can see. And then you can see what it feels like to look up towards the sky, but as you move really slowly and gently. And we'll start to lower the gaze back down towards center. Lift up through the head. Unwind the spine, and then we'll twist it over to the other side. So take it over to your left. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee, and just the spine. Twist from the belly at first. Think about creating length more than going deeper. And take a couple breaths here. And then maybe add in the neck. Just a gentle gaze. Your gaze doesn't even have to go out toward the back wall, just looking toward the shoulder. And then we'll let the right ear drop down to the right shoulder. You might shift the gaze down. Or see how it feels to look up. And we'll come back through center, start to unwind from the twist, moving really slowly and gently from the neck. From here, we'll make our way onto hands and knees, coming into our tabletop position. And take a few rounds of cat and cow pose here. Inhale, reach your heart forward in between your biceps, gaze forward or slightly up. Then on your exhale, round your sitting bones down toward the floor and press the ground away from you. And then start to link your movement to your breath. And even add your neck into the movement as long as it feels okay with your body. So I like to add some neck circles when I'm feeling a little stiff in that area. You can make your movement more organic and fluid. So do what feels good to you. When you round into cat pose, let your neck release. And take a couple more rounds of breath here. And we'll come to meet back in a neutral spine. On an inhale, take your right arm up to the sky. And on an exhale, thread it under. Bring the right side of your face to the floor, your back of your right shoulder down. And just let yourself rest here, nothing fancy. And just moving down from the neck, opening a little bit into the back of the shoulder. And try to let your neck relax as your head rests down on the earth. And then press the left palm down. We'll reach the right arm back up to the sky. And set it down beside your left. Switch over to the other side. Take the left arm up high. And then exhale, thread it underneath the right. And lower yourself down onto your mat. And breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. And let your neck relax. And then bring your right hand back down beside your face. Reach the left arm high once more. And then lower the left hand down onto your mat. We're going to come all the way down onto your belly. So just lower down easily, gently. And take your elbows right underneath your shoulders. We're setting up for Sphinx pose. Make sure you untuck your toes back behind you. Press the tops of your feet down. And then press down through your forearms so your ribs aren't touching the mat. Hug them in. And just look forward. Plug your shoulder blades into your back. Open across your collarbones. We'll start to take some neck rolls here. But first, gently just look over to the right side. And then come back through center. Look over to the left side. Come through center. Let your right ear drop over to your right shoulder. Slowly let the chin travel down towards your chest. And then left ear over to your left shoulder. And we'll take those little semicircles here. Just coming through center, back over to the right side. And making your way over to the left side, of course. Slow down in any areas that are tight or feel nice to you. And take that a few more times until you end up on the left side. Make your way back through center. Gazing forward, start to slide your hands back beside your bottom ribs. And suddenly you're in a cobra pose. Press down through the tops of the feet. Draw your hands back like you could slide them back towards your heels. And press your pubic bone down. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you. Take an inhale. On your exhale, press your way through hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, we'll meet in downward facing dog. And get settled into your down dog and bend your knees if you need to. Let your neck be long here. And bring your gaze back in between your feet. I like to nod my head up and down or give it a little shake from side to side because I'm always holding tension in the back of my neck. And slide your shoulder blades down toward your waist, so the same thing, neck stays long. Straighten through your arms as best you can. And take another round of breath here. And then on your next breath in, start to walk your hands up to the top of your mat. We'll come into Uttanasana, a forward fold with the legs, the feet pretty wide apart.
a little wider than hips distance. Let your knees bend and let your upper body hang heavy. And then here, really try to let your head and your neck relax. And the same thing as in downward facing dog. Sometimes I have to give my head a little shake from side to side just to loosen up a little bit, especially after a long day or a particularly stressful day. And take one more round of breath here. On your next inhale, press down through the feet, reach your arms wide, rise all the way up to standing. Hands come together at heart center. On an inhale, take your arms around and up. Exhale, part the arms, fold forward back to Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up halfway, press your hands into your shins, lengthen through your neck, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, plant your hands, we'll step the left foot back and then lower the back knee down. We're going to rise up to Anjaneyasana, so press down through your front heel, reach your arms up by your ears. And then start to bend into your left elbow like you're patting yourself on the back. We'll take a little tricep stretch, just pulling that elbow gently over towards the right side. And keep drawing your right hip back and in, your belly button towards your spine. Let your waist grow long. Let your shoulders and the insides of your shoulders gently draw away from your ear. And we'll re-extend the left arm. Start to take it across your body over to the right side. A little stretch into the outside of the shoulder. And we'll release the arms, start to reach the hands back up towards the sky. On an exhale, lower your hands down. Lift the back knee. We'll step back into a plank pose and just lower the knees down in one straight line. Lower all the way to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Reach up forward with the heart. Exhale back to your belly. We'll press up through hands and knees. Come back to your downward facing dog. And remember, let your neck be long. Reach your sitting bones up and back toward the wall behind you. Come back to your breath here. And then on an inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. As you exhale, walk your feet back up to the top of your mat. Come back to your forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold it back in. And then press down to your feet, rise back up to standing. Arms reach around and up overhead, and then draw your hands into your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms around and up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips. Inhale, come back to lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. We'll step the right foot to the back this time, then lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. We'll rise up into Anjaneyasana on the other side. Press down through your front heel and try to scissor your inner thighs together so you find some lift through your torso. And then we'll add the bend in the right elbow this time. Grab hold of that elbow and give a gentle tug over to the left side. And we'll re-extend the arm. This time take it across your body. A little stretch into the outer shoulder. And this left arm is just a gentle guide. Not pulling anything out of place. And reach both arms back high. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down to frame your foot. Retuck the back toes. Step to plank. We'll lower the knees down again. This time we'll pause at the halfway point. So keep your elbows pinned by your sides, lower to a modified chaturanga. Keep the shoulders drawn away from your ears and your neck long. Gaze down at your mat or in the ground right in front of your mat. Take one more inhale. Exhale to your belly. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Reach the elbows back, the palms dragging back. Exhale, lower down. Press up through hands and knees. Tuck your toes, make your way back to downward facing dog. And take another round of breath here. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Bring your feet up behind your hands. Wind up in a forward fold here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, we'll rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, take your hands into your heart. Inhale, take your arms around and up just so they're reaching parallel to each other, right by your ears, palms face in toward each other. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart. They could even be a little wider if you struggle with balance. We're going to step the left foot to the back of your mat, so bend into your knees gently, and then just step the left foot back. We'll stay up on the ball of the back foot. Take a little bend into your back knee. Make sure your right knee stacked right over your ankle. Inhale here. And then spread your arms out wide to the sides. We're going to wrap the right arm underneath the left, setting up for eagle arms. So first give yourself a hug. And then you'll see if you want to stay here or bring the backs of your palms together. And then you might be able to tuck your right hand to the inside of your left hand. Keep the same bend in your legs. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. And maybe gently press the forearms away from you. We have eagle arms here. Steady your gaze. You might feel that you shift to a more internal gaze since you blocked your vision here. And let your shoulder blades pull apart, but still let your neck be long so don't have any crunching into the shoulders. And take another inhale and exhale here. And then on your next inhale, unwind the arms, reach them back up overhead. As you exhale, step up, coming back to stand into Tadasana. Take a little bend into your knees, keep the feet hips distance apart, and then we'll step the right foot back. Come to your high lunge on the other side. I like to take a little bend into my back knee as I scoop my hips forward so I feel more of an opening in my back hip flexor. And then inhale your arms out to the sides. This time we'll take the left arm underneath, give yourself a big hug, feel your shoulder blades spread wide apart. And then if you'd like to come into eagle arms, bring the backs of your palms together. This time we'll tuck the left hand inside of the right. Even one finger can hook around, and that can give you some leverage to open up the backs of your shoulders. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Press the forearms gently away from you. And just breathe here. Steady your balance and steady your breath. And breathing into the back body. Take one more inhale and exhale. And your next breath in, unwind the arms, reach up and overhead. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, reach high, grow tall. Exhale, hands into heart center. Now we're going to come to face one of the long edges of your mat. Step your feet pretty wide apart. We're setting up for triangle pose. Bring your hands to your hips, and then we'll turn the right leg out to the right side. So make sure your knees right in line with your second toe. Toes are pointing towards the right edge of your mat. Turn your back foot in a little bit. And we'll press down through the ball of the front foot and through the whole back foot. Bring your arms out parallel to the ground. Start to reach your right fingers forward. And then when you can't reach anymore, we'll lower that right hand down gently onto your right shin. The left arm reaches up and overhead. Now, if your neck is bothering you, it might feel better to look down at your bottom foot. You might like to look a little bit out towards the front of the room and just focus on lengthening the crown of your head out straight in front of you. Or you might turn your gaze to look up at your top thumb, which can be a lot more intense on the neck. So since mine was tender today, I'm going to just look down at the floor. And then we'll press down through the front. Then we'll press down through both feet to rise back up, bring the arms back to parallel. And then we'll turn all 10 toes to face that long side of your mat. Shift over to the left side. So turn the whole left leg out, back foot in a little bit. Check that your knee is going right over your second toe. And then we'll start to reach the left fingertips out. Tuck the arms, lower the left hand down, right arm reaches toward the sky. Lengthen out through your neck. And crown of your head reaching now towards the left side of your mat or towards the new front of the room. And remember, your gaze can be down, right at your top hand, or just out to the side. And when you're ready to come up, press down into both feet. And make our way back up to standing, arms at parallel. Bring the hands to your hips and turn all 10 toes to face forward, or towards that long side of your mat. We're going to take Prasarita Padottanasana C. So we'll have the hands interlaced behind the back. If that's uncomfortable, you can grab opposite forearms or take a strap in between your hands. Or a scarf or a towel, whatever you have in your house around you. And press down through both feet. Roll the crown of your head taller. Reach your knuckles down to the floor and keep a little bend in your elbows. Inhale here. And as you exhale, we'll hinge forward at the hips, leading with the top of your sternum. And the crown of your head will eventually reach down towards the ground. And keep rooting down evenly through both feet. Even if you can straighten through the elbows, keep a little bend because that'll help you open more across your shoulders. And let the head and the neck relax. Notice if you're carrying any tension in the back of the neck or anywhere else in the body. And take another breath in. And on your exhale, let the hands release down towards your mat. Walk them out underneath your shoulders, rise up halfway. And then bring the hands up to your hips. We'll press down through the feet to rise up to standing. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, bend your knees a little bit and step your feet together. We're going to come to a seat down on your mat. So you'll end up sitting cross-legged or up on your shins or on a pillow, whatever's comfortable for you. And then we're going to stretch our right arm out to the side. Making the arm as straight as you can. Try to press the heel of the hand more away from you than the fingers. Draw the fingers back toward you. And then you'll start to drop your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And keeping your spine long, kind of like you have paint on your hand and you're trying to paint the wall across from you. Do it really slowly. Drag your hand down the wall. Keep trying to press the heel of the hand away from you. Doing it as slowly as you can. Lengthening through the arm, drawing the fingers back, reaching left ear towards your left shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Moving slowly like you're moving through sticky mud. And then once your hand gets down towards your mat, release the fingertips. Let the neck lengthen. Maybe you walk the fingertips a little more away. And then we'll use the opposite hand to gently support the neck on its way up. Drawing it back up through center. Reset here, take a breath. And then we'll extend the left hand out to the left side. Really press the palm away from you. Drop your right ear over toward your right shoulder. Breathe. Draw your fingertips back toward you and start to slide down the wall on the other side. Drawing a nice long streak of paint in whatever your favorite color is. Or maybe it's your least favorite color if your neck is feeling really stiff here. Move slowly like molasses.
Lengthening the neck, pressing the hand away from you. And breathing. And then once your hand gets all the way down towards your mat, let the fingers release onto the floor, lengthen through your neck. And then we'll use the right hand to support the neck up through center. And take a breath here. And settle in. We'll take a few more of those semicircles just to loosen it back up. Dropping down through center. Rolling over to the other side. And then give yourself one more in each direction. And then make your way down onto your back. And draw the knees up and in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then this time let both knees drop over to the left. Spread your arms out wide like a cactus. If your neck's feeling okay, you can let your gaze drop over to the right. And just come into a nice reclined twist. Not much effort here. Let the whole body relax. And just breathe softly and deeply. And then gently shift your gaze up through center. You can keep the arms as they are. Just roll the knees up past your belly and then drop over to the right side. And shift your gaze out over your opposite arm. And reset your spine if you've shifted a little bit to the side. Make your way back through center. Give yourself one more big hug. Draw the knees up into your chest. And then start to make your way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Lengthen the legs down long on your mat. Take up some space and spread your arms wide at your sides. Close the eyes. Gently soften the breath. And soften that space between your eyebrows. And feel your head supported by your mat. And let that soften your neck. Move slowly and gently as you begin to come out of your Shavasana. Let your movements be easy and relaxed. And when you do come to sit up, let your neck stay heavy and use your hands to press your way up into a seat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you. Feel free to leave any comments or any requests for other parts of the body. Thanks for being here. Namaste.